Bum-ba-da-dum. Howdy, y'all. Banjo Ben here, coming at you mandolin pickers, particularly mandolin pickers that want to get better or learn how to improvise, how to create your own solos. And there's a lot of you out there because I've heard from you for years, to the point where it inspired me to create a course called Introduction to Jamming, where from my years of experience, I've learned how to communicate the most essential truths to get you from knowing a little bit about the theory, which is necessary, to actually applying it in a solo situation. That's what this course is all about. You know, whenever I created the first lesson in my Introduction to Jamming course, I didn't realize even that it was going to be a course. I knew it would be helpful, but the incredible feedback that I got from all of you after watching that, even years later, I got an email this morning about it, inspired me to create more and more lessons in there, particularly aiming at various keys. And the course continues to grow even now. So let me tell you a little bit about that course, what you can expect to find in each lesson, and why I do think that it's so valuable, as exemplified by many testimonials that I have from mandolin pickers. So I think when it comes to improvising, there are two kind of pieces to it, right? There's the theoretical knowledge that you kind of need to know, unless you're just, a musical genius and you can do everything by ear. That's not most of us. And then there's the practical side of it, like putting that theory in practice to create something, to make something of your own. Now, I don't mean copying a tab solo. I mean actually creating, and even creating in the moment. That's what we're talking about with improvising. And a lot of times people will just attack one side or the other. Most commonly, they're going to go after the theoretical knowledge. Well, what are my scales? What are my various chords? They dive way deep, especially you analytical type folks, dive way deep on the theoretical knowledge, but don't really have a way to begin to apply it. And you wonder, you're sitting there left wondering, how can I know all this stuff about the mandolin fretboard or scales, yet it not come out? So this course is meant to do that. It's meant to be the bridge, right? The contextualization bridge between mandolin knowledge, the theory, and actually putting it in practice. And we're not going to get super deep on the theory because you don't need tons of theory to start improvising. So each one of the lessons in this course, and it's continually growing, is divided into three parts. And it's the first part that we're going to cover the theory, just the necessary theory. I'm not going to spend time filling your brain with unnecessary things. And so we're going to attack it by key. So let's say that we're going to learn how to jam or improvise in the key of C. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is show you what I call the stepping stones, which is essentially the major scale. Now, this is an intro to jamming course, so we're not getting into all the blues notes, all the other licks and things that you can do that are going to be more intermediate or advanced. This is getting you freely improvising with the most basic tool, which is the major scale. And after I get you grabbing hold of that major scale for whatever key that we're in, we're going to take a step from the stepping stones and begin playing with purpose. Juggle two different things in your brain, knowing where your stepping stones are, the major scale, and having a purpose with what notes you're playing. That's going to help you whenever you start playing melodies, right? Because you're going to need to know where the notes are. They fall usually in the major scale, and you need to find a way to get there. Now, what I mean playing with purpose is that we're going to take the theoretical knowledge that we have and begin actually putting it where we want to hear it. And it's an experiment at first. If you've never improvised, it's going to feel very weird because you're having to actually create. And you're going to say, well, what do I play? That's the point. I've given you the tools to play. I'm going to show you how to actually play those things. Now, we keep it simple at first with the playing with purpose, all downstrokes, because I only want to give you a little bit at a time so that you're able to ingest that and begin to apply it. You try it. But then finally, we're going to add some upstrokes. And what we're doing there is, of course, increasing the complexity just a bit to more simulate what you're going to do in a jamming environment, but making this scale part of your vocabulary, right? It's part of how you speak on the instrument. And And this is great because you're not tied down to just licks that you know over certain chords. And you're not tied down to just solos that you've learned on a tab. But rather you think about what key is the song in, where's my major scale, and then it begins to flow. That's been the biggest feedback that I've gotten from this course, is that it begins to actually flow out from you. So if you're looking to learn how to actually improvise and jam on the mandolin, I can't recommend this Introduction to Jamming course enough. If you're a Gold Pick member, you get full access to it on the site. And not only is it the 30 or so minute lessons, many of those in there, but you also get to download the tabs that are needed to learn the scale. That's all the tabs that we're using. But beyond that, there are some MP3 jam tracks that at various speeds that you can download and begin to jam with. So you don't have to have somebody by you or nearby to play guitar. I provide that for you, and you can begin to jam there. Don't forget to drop on by the forum and leave any questions or feedback that you have there, because there's a whole community there of Gold Pick members on the forum that are invested in one another's journey to get better on all the instruments. So make sure and drop by there. If you're struggling with something, put a comment there, and myself and others will come around you and help constructively push you forward. All right. So if you're not a Gold Pick member, you need to come on over to banjobenclark.com. Get full access to the jamming course, as well as many hundreds more lessons for banjo, guitar, and mandolin. If you are a Gold Pick member, you may not even know about this course. And I find that that's sometimes the case, that I have so much content there that many times faithful Gold Pick members will stumble upon something. But where has this been all my life? Yeah, it's been there for 2 or 3 years. So this jamming on mandolin, or Introduction to Jamming course, has grown over the years, and it's going to continue to grow. And I want to make sure that you're aware of it. Thank you to all the Gold Pick members out there. For those of you who aren't Gold Pick members, I'll see you on the site soon. Get to jamming on that mandolin.